one of Karnataka's biggest cyber heist, has sent shockwaves through India's crypto community. Unidentified hackers stole a whopping 378 crore from a Bengaluru-based cryptocurrency firm, Neblio Technologies, and in a twist, the trail has led to a former part-time employee. The heist began with a minor test transaction around 2:37 a.m., just 1 USDT, but by 9:40 a.m., the hackers had pulled off a full-scale digital theft. They siphoned off 44 million US dollars worth 378 crore from Neblio's servers into another wallet. Company officials suspect that the hackers may have accessed the server through a laptop used by Rahul Agarwal, a former freelance staffer. He is now under arrest. This isn't just another crypto breach. This may be one of Karnataka's biggest cyber frauds in history. Whitefield Cybercrime Police are now on a full-scale investigation to trace the stolen crypto trail and unearth the full web of conspirators. One of the biggest cyber heists that has been pulled off in Karnataka has sent shockwaves throughout India's crypto community, where hackers stole a whopping 378 crore from a Bengaluru-based cryptocurrency. Now, while the investigation is on, it appears that a former part-time employee was someone who led to the entire heist. The heist, which began around roughly 2:37 a.m. with just 1 USDT, ended up becoming a full-scale 378 crore heist by 9:40 a.m. And to discuss this further, I'm joined by Kanishk Gaur, who's a cybersecurity and data privacy expert. Mr. Gaur, good evening. Thank you for taking your time and joining me over here at News9. At the very outset, I want to ask you, what do you make of this heist of this magnitude that has been pulled off in Karnataka? Of course, the Bengaluru police is now trying to unearth and join the dots as far as who exactly pulled it off. But your first reactions?
See, this is not the first time that has happened. We have seen the case of WazirX, where another crypto heist happened. And if you look at, there is primarily lack of regulation with respect to cryptocurrencies. So even if there is a cyber fraud that has happened, it's very difficult to recover the money because you don't know where the money has landed. Cryptocurrencies work through the mechanisms of dark web, where finding the originator where the money is landing, it's quite difficult. And the training of Indian law enforcement agencies, particularly on tracing crypto, is quite low. Hence, investigation is going to be equally difficult for them. And when you see such crypto heists happening, you will see money moving globally, not just within India, but into global accounts of various businesses. So it's quite
Also,
difficult to find out where.
for the better understanding of our viewers, we want to understand whether these crypto companies are legally registered with the government of India. How do they operate?
See, these are crypto exchanges. So yeah, this company is not a cryptocurrency creating company. It is basically a crypto exchange which is allowing people to trade and buy cryptocurrencies, and they provide crypto wallets. So they basically provide a node in a blockchain for people to buy crypto, trade crypto. So they are not the creators. They would ultimately use different kinds of platforms which are then used for trading. Now, these platforms would include like Binance. You would see other platforms which are also similar to Binance, which are used. But the bigger issue is there is a case of insider theft. Now, insider theft is where an employee of a company is either social engineered or fooled, or he himself is involved in enabling the cyber fraud or scam to take place. Now, we have seen that this company has a part-time employee who is either compromised or his systems have been compromised, which has led to large level of breach. And that's why the money has been able to move from one account to multiple other accounts. Now, if you look at further investigation, you see there could be a large cybercrime group which could be involved in doing such operations. Now, typically, we have seen cybercrime groups like Lazarus, which are globally well known for crypto heists, and they were figured in previous list, which has been published by FBI in terms of doing crypto scams and taking out money from multiple crypto exchange companies, similar to the one we are speaking about
But
right
Mr.
now.
Gaur, are you trying to suggest that there are no safeguards, that these crypto exchange companies are open to these breach and there can be no safeguards?
See, RBI does not authorize these companies under any regulations today. There is no government regulations which authorizes these companies to be allowing them to have crypto exchanges. So
Okay.
cryptocurrency is subjected to risk which the investor is facing by himself. So there is no provision for the crypto investors to basically get their money back. So that's one of the biggest issues. Now, if you look at the West, there are regulations.
But
If you
then
look
if
at
it's
US,
not
there
been
is a regulation.
recognized by the RBI, Mr. Gore, for the better understanding for viewers again, under what sections of cyber law then this can be investigated? If it's not
See,
governed by the Indian laws and RBI doesn't recognize it, then what is the way forward for those who lose their money?
there are two ways. Either the company will own up to the loss because the company was basically the custodian for these crypto wallets, or they will use some kind of cyber insurance where the cyber insurance service provider would provide insurance and provide the claim. So the company will have to make a claim that they have lost the money. So that those are the two methods. Now, if this cryptocurrency would have been regulated in India, then there could have been a regulator like RBI, which would have force this company to take out an independent investigation, and there could have been a penalty which could have been enforced. Unfortunately, in India, there is no law. So the question of penalty does not come into the picture. And the Indian IT Act today is extremely weak. So basically, putting any kind of punishments or taking any legal measures against crypto companies, it's very difficult. So crypto companies, crypto exchanges are subjected to large amount of risk, and particularly crypto investors in India are subjected to very large risk. And that's the risk they have to learn with. Otherwise, crypto has to be regulated. There has to be a regulator, just like you have for stock exchange, just like you have for alternate investments which are made in the market. You've got regulators. Unfortunately, that is not the scenario for crypto. Hence, the investors will bear losses. The company which is basically lost 370K crore rupees, they will have to bear loss, or they could have an insurance who would basically help them in terms of making a claim, but you don't know how much of money they will be able to get back. Right now, what the company has done is they have launched something called as the bug bounty program, where they are asking hackers to recover the money, and in that return, they will give them some amount of the cryptocurrency.
But in the absence of a regulator, then these companies are left to fend for themselves. And also take us through, how do these breaches actually happen? Like, how do these companies end up falling a prey or walk into the cyber fraud space?
See, crypto wallets have certain level of encryption. And unlike a traditional cybersecurity, you use principles of blockchain, and the principles of blockchain have to be audited. Now, in India, so far, there have been no regulations which talks about blockchain-based audits to be carried out by cryptocurrencies. But if you look at the rest of the world, where you have companies who are basically crypto exchanges or are basically creating new cryptocurrencies, like if you look at Luxembourg, there are mechanisms for cybersecurity audits to be done for crypto companies or companies which are basically creating mechanisms for getting in investors. So far, there are no government guidelines or any kind of security measure or best practice that have to be taken care by cryptocurrencies. Hence, any crypto exchange is not subjected to any kind of external audit, investigations. It is only after a cyber heist has happened that they are doing forensic audit or investigations. So the bar is set extremely low for cryptocurrencies in India. And that's why WazirX and now this company, CoinDCX, is facing so much amount of pressure because cybersecurity is something which they have not thought about in the past. And that's why cyber criminals are going after them. And you would see this continue to happen. Mark my word, you would see this continue to happen because there is no law, there is no guideline for cybersecurity audit or investigation. That's why cryptocurrencies in India would be subjected to large amount of cyber frauds, and there could be other companies as well in India who could be facing similar cyber frauds, and people who have invested in these cryptocurrency exchanges could be subjected to large amount of money they could be losing out.